connect us more to you and your big picture and why you're on my panel for Focus on Clients, Customers, and Your Niche.
Thank you for having me. It's been a really remarkable 2 days for me. I didn't know what to expect because this is the first big conference, and I've been repeatedly inspired and touched by the stories and the interactions that I've had with everyone here. It's been really amazing. So I'm super glad that I came. And I'm involved, as she said, with the chamber in Miami. I joined because I wanted friends that were holistically minded, people that I could talk to about my practice, about my health, about the community. I wanted to be part of a group of healers, and I feel like community is really important for our physical health, mental health, financial health, for our overall well-being. And I've gotten so much out of the chamber in Miami. I consider the other members of the chamber some of my best friends. I've been in the holistic industry for nearly 20 years, and I've done that in a lot of different cities. I've done it in New York and LA and Miami and different places, and I need community. I'm someone that thrives in community with other people. That's how my business has always thrived, by getting referrals, by referring out, by building those relationships. And I've been teaching for 10 years at the undergraduate and graduate level, and what I noticed was all of my students were coming out into the world, and they were super talented. They were practicing things like we talked about earlier, the Akashic Record, and energy medicine, and massage therapy, and yoga. But then they came out, and I consistently saw certain kinds of struggles that we've been talking about the last 2 days. Things about branding and visibility. Can you articulate what you do really quickly so that people get it? You know, are you online so people that can find you and buy from you really easily? You know, can you get up on a stage, whether it's for 10 seconds or 10 minutes, and tell people what you do and have them understand and have them engaged and feel your passion for what you do and want to work with you? So I've been mentoring and teaching other women how to do those things, and it's been remarkable. And it's such a joy for me to do that kind of work and to engage with women in that way. And so this was just another opportunity for me to come and make my holistic family a little bit bigger. I know that I'm leaving here with friends that I'm going to have for a very long time. And I love that. I love that I'm now connected to people who are in this community in Canada and all over the world. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I do.
About numbers, so another way to almost approach some of that is, you know, if you're not good with numbers, I make it easier to read and take care of your numbers.
Yeah.
The bottom line. So.
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback on this because I think that it's important. And one of the things I had to do was create a mind shift around this. Like when I started out as a licensed massage therapist 15 years ago. It was super easy to understand who I needed to serve and how I needed to serve them. People have body aches and pains. They have stress. If I put myself in a spa or a center or something, people know how to find me. It's kind of a no-brainer. And we find that kind of ease with some of these professions, like nursing. You become an RN, you're in a hospital, people understand what you do and how it helps, and there's a general awareness. When you get into the more ambiguous kinds of therapies, we have to do a little bit more work about how we communicate and how we connect with the people that we can serve. And as an entrepreneur, we have an added burden of being on our own and figuring all of this out on our own and not being part of a system that already has a clear explanation, a clear target audience, clear copy, communication, all the stuff we've been talking about. So when I had to identify who I wanted to serve, how I wanted to serve them, and how I could benefit them, I needed to focus on the problem that I wanted to solve. And I needed to focus on who I wanted to solve that problem for. And so I have my clients go through an exercise where I ask them to imagine that there's someone out there right now who is Googling something, you know, who's going through articles online or who's going around to local, you know, health food stores or yoga studios or whatever, trying to solve a problem. What problem is she trying to solve? What is the language that she's using when she's trying to solve that problem? Like, I can't get rid of my migraine, right? So she's Googling how to get rid of a migraine. So what language is she using when she's trying to solve her problem? And then how can I speak to her in a way that solves her problem? So whatever we're doing, so whether we're here on the stage or we're writing a blog or we're doing a presentation, whatever we're putting out there, website, all of it, we're trying to speak to the person that we want to serve, that niche, that customer, that client, that patient. We're trying to communicate with them. So we have to be really clear about what we're solving. We have to be really clear about the language that we're using. And then we talk about results, but it's not just results, but it's benefits. So I can say to you, I have this community, it's called Women in Wellness. We do live group calls every week, and you can come on the call and you can talk about your practice and you can get some coaching. That's not very compelling. I mean, it's interesting and you could maybe assume the benefit. But if I say to you, you're going to be in a safe space, you're going to see your business grow, you're going to feel the comfort and the support of like-minded people who they've got your back. You know, whether you're doing great or you're doing terrible, you can share that. You can be vulnerable. We will love you. We will support you. You can feel into that. It's a feeling thing. And I think we had a panel earlier where we talked about how do you make decisions. Do you make them with your mind or do you make them with your feeling? A lot of this is about what is the feeling that people want when they work with you. Like QuickBooks, I had QuickBooks when I was running my wellness center. Oh my God, it was like dreadful, right? But if you can make my life easier, if you can make it less dreadful for me, if you can make it something that's more joyful for me, I'm going to subscribe to the joy. I'm going to buy the joy from you, not the fact that you're taking me through QuickBooks. So I had to go through some mind shifts, and it's worthwhile to take some time to kind of think about the subtleties of this because I think they make a big difference.
Well, you know, it's so perceived value. It is not always that we need to give it away for free. Some people will save up to spend more on something that they really value.
Or they'll reallocate their funds away from that pair of shoes made in a sweatshop in China.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
To their health.
I think these last two questions are really significant. I mean, the first question that you asked about, can you have a niche that is defined by socioeconomic class, by race, by ethnicity, can it be defined in different ways? And I think absolutely, you can focus on sex, male or female, you can focus on the Latino vote, right, or the Black vote. Like you can get very specific about who you're targeting, and I think that permeates everything in your business. Whatever images that you have on your website, whatever words that you use, if they're big fancy multi-syllable words, that's a different group that you're going to reach and that you're going to connect with than if you use really simple text. If you're cursing, there's a lot of people out there that they use a lot of vulgar language and it's kind of like funny and cheeky and sassy. That reaches a different audience than when you have like uber professional language all over the place. So you might not think that every single thing you're doing, like I strategically wore this dress and these heels today. I didn't dress like this yesterday. I don't know if any of you saw me yesterday, but I was in flip-flops and like a summer dress. My hair was pulled back in a ponytail, but I'm on the stage and this is being recorded and it's being broadcasted. And I do this intentionally because I'm a professor of holistic health and because I train other professionals how to have a professional practice. So if you go to my social media, it's curated. It's very curated. It's part inspirational. It's part professional. It advertises a lot of different kind of events. You see me speaking at all different events. All of that is thoughtful, and it's all part of who do I want to reach and how do I want to reach them. And so then you ask about the pricing. The pricing excludes certain people or includes other people. And you can have different price points if there's different people that you want to reach. But this is all part of an overall strategy. Everything you're doing, how you're talking, what you're wearing, what you're posting, how much you charge, everything. It's all part of a strategy that connects you with that person that you really, really want to serve. And I think the easiest thing for me when I think about it is I want to serve who I was a few years ago, who was lost and didn't have the resources and the tools and the tips. I want to serve her. So in my mind, when I create things, I write to her. And then I attract women that are like that. and then I listen, and then I create to serve them. And it just becomes this kind of like feedback loop of listening, serving, and then I allow that to sort of be the guide with the things that I create.
Okay, so now.
I don't know what your experience is, but my experience is there's an incredible amount of shame and discomfort and fear and stuff around the money conversation. A couple of us got together last night, and there was a woman who was sort of facilitating our conversation who's been a longtime coach, and she said, tell me the numbers of your business. How much are you making? How much are you spending? And it was very uncomfortable for a lot of people to just say, I make this much, I spend this much. And they would tell a whole big story about why they were doing what they were doing. You should be like, no, just tell me, how much do you make? And then they would tell another story about the time that they had to move back. You know, like, no, the numbers, what are the numbers? And I mean, it would almost take like 20 minutes before the woman would say. And my personal belief is that you have to kind of get through these layers of shame before you say, this is how much I make. And you feel like it's never enough. And unless you can say that you're making 6 figures or 7 figures, you somehow feel inadequate or something. And so it's such an interesting conversation around numbers. What I've discovered with all of the ventures that I do is that if you're starting something new, for me, I'm going to spend a lot more money than I'm going to make. Like this whole online community that I built last year, I spent $40,000 and I made about $25,000 of it back. I know that now there's an infrastructure there that's going to grow and that's going to expand, and I don't have that initial cost. But I believe that you have to spend some money to build something, to make something, and then, you know, you work from there. I think we need to increase our comfort and our transparency about how much you have to spend sometimes to do the things that you want to do. And what that whole kind of financial thing looks like, which is why it's so amazing that we have financial people here that can have these conversations with us about the money and about, you know, how best to spend and invest, because there are unlimited decisions. Like, it was a decision for me to spend money to come here, and it's a decision to get professional pictures taken, and it's a decision to invest in, you know, an editor to edit my book so that it looks professional when I put it on Amazon. You have unlimited decisions that you need to make, and I think also that's why this community is so valuable, because you can talk to other people and you can get mentorship and you can get support and advice about how other people are doing it, so that you feel more confident about the decisions that you're making.
Or, right, what's your 1 or 2 top tips? People who are walking away today, what are their next steps?
Thank you. I really enjoyed this panel. One of the things that we didn't get to talk about, which I would like to leave as a takeaway, is how significant your personal story and your personal journey is to your business and to the customers and patients that you're going to attract. So, for example, we heard about cancer, and we heard about polio, and we heard about a lot of different things that have called us into the holistic community. I have my whole personal story of why I came into the community. I draw on that story to speak to other people so that they know that I understand the path and that I can be a mentor and that I can be a guide for them on the path. So don't underestimate the power of your own personal story, your own personal journey, to infuse that into everything that you do so that you can really find those perfect matches for you. Because I think that that's a really significant part of who we're going to be able to help and who we're going to be able to serve.